Alright, Schlockmeister fans, another re-review from my previous channel. A horror classic from the 50s. I Was a Teenage Werewolf, starring Michael Landon. Let's check it out. Our movie starts with a schoolyard fight. Tony, the guy getting punched there, is Michael Landon. He's a little bit of a hothead.
Well, you started it. Look, you started it. Just slap me on the shoulder. The friendly tap. I don't know what you got so excited. I don't like that kind of friendship. I don't like to be hit from behind by anybody, anytime. I don't like to be touched. Okay.
He's the consulting psychologist out at the aircraft plant. He's been working with the police department without charge, trying to help difficult kids adjust.
What's this adjust kick?
Polish off the rough edges. Adjust.
Tony's a stubborn guy, though.
Think over what I said, would you? I mean about not being so stubborn. Just might make things a lot easier all around.
Okay, Dad.
Oh, a little man-to-man talk won't hurt anybody.
His girlfriend's parents. That's Arlene.
Well, I would, only you don't look too pleased. No, really, sometimes when I walk in that door, I think you're going to swat me with a baseball bat or something.
Oh, I'm sure that's just your imagination.
The movie treats us to a musical interlude.
Tell me where she is, cause I don't know. So eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I've been...
Right away, Tony resorts to fighting again. He goes to see the doctor for his anger issues.
If I adjust, huh?
It's the if we're going to work on, son. We'll work on it together. Okay, Tony?
You're the doctor.
He's going to be a guinea pig.
Years of searching. I found a suitable person for my experiment. His record at school, what the school principal told me, what I learned from Detective Sergeant Donovan, gives him the proper disturbed emotional background I need. Through hypnosis, I'm going to regress this boy back into the primitive past that lurks within him. I'm going to transform him and unleash the savage instincts that lie hidden within.
And then?
Then I'll be judged a benefactor. Mankind is on the verge of destroying itself. The only hope for the human race is to hurl it back into its primitive dawn.
Well, first the doctor injects him with something. And then the hypnosis begins.
Where are you now, Tony? Where are you?
Very small.
Later on, this other kid's being chased through the woods. He can't see what's chasing him. But it's clearly something really bad.
I know what killed him.
You do?
He was killed by a werewolf.
A what?
Alfred, you read the paper. You know what happened.
There's a difference between a newspaper story and a scientific report. I have to be sure. Even in a minor experiment. You know how many guinea pigs are used up before the trailblazers ready to announce a new discovery to the scientific world?
School
Your
principal.
grades are about the same, but then your grades were always high. However, your conduct is very much improved. Tony, you're coming along just fine.
Later on at school, though, the school bell goes off, and that causes a change in Tony. Specifically, he turns into Teenage Werewolf. He immediately pursues female teenage gymnast.
They were the same.
See.
They recognize the pants he was wearing, the wolf.
The eyes.
Why do you shy away from the word? Everyone's using it. Werewolf. I do not subscribe to old wives' tales. It's my belief that these legends or myths passed out with the invention of electricity.
Tony's a good boy. I don't care what they say. Tony's a good boy. Yet he hasn't come home, or you haven't heard from him since he left the school early this morning.
If you run across it, or even if you see any suspicious tracks, notify me immediately on the walkie-talkie. Don't fire unless you're attacked. I'll try to bring this thing in alive.
So the posse's coming after him. Wolf Tony confronts a dog. Eventually the wolf stuff wears off, though, and he's back to being Tony again.
How do you know it's his? There's a description of more attacker like this. How do you know that's part of his jacket?
Tony walks through town, paranoid that people are watching him. Everybody's looking for him.
Mistake? You dare call a scientific triumph a mistake? What are you going to do now? You must make the voyage back once more. I must see with my own eyes and record with my own camera. Here.
He's talking about Tony, who had nowhere to go and returned to the doctor for help. He might regret that. In fact, he pretty much immediately regrets it. This ends the life of our teenage werewolf and ends our film.
Did you see his face? I mean, before? I'll never forget it. But at least they'll see him this way now.
All right, let's talk about I Was a Teenage Werewolf. This is a movie starring Michael Landon, 1957, I believe. And he plays a kid named Tony. He's a high school student, and he's a hothead. He's got anger issues. He gets into fights all the time. He doesn't like to be touched. He's got a girlfriend named Arlene, though. He's just angry. He's an angry young man. I think Billy Joel sang about him. So there's this doctor in town who is experimenting, and he's come up with this idea. I don't know. Actually, I don't know what exactly his ideas are. He's saying, mankind is destroying itself. This is going to help. Again, I'm not sure what his plan was here, but he wants a subject, a guinea pig who is a human who has anger issues, and he learns about Tony. So this local cop or whatever recommended Tony go see this doctor, not knowing that this doctor was a mad scientist. So Tony goes to see him. He gets injected. They do some hypnosis. Later on, we don't see the first transformation, but he turns into a werewolf, and then he kills this kid in the woods. And then he's on the run because he's a wolf, actually not quite away. He comes back to himself, and then he's in school the next day or something. And then the school bell rings, and that causes him to freak out and turn into a werewolf. It triggered something that turned him. So then he was chasing this gymnast around. She got away, and then they were chasing him. They were chasing the wolf through the woods. However, he was recognized as Tony because he was wearing Tony's pants, Tony's jacket, that sort of thing. He's got the Letterman jacket on. So they weren't sure, the townspeople weren't sure what to make of this. Is it Tony? Is it a wolf? What the hell? So they form a posse, of course, and they go off into the woods, and the plan is to try to capture him alive, but while he's out in the woods, he ends up turning back into Tony. And he goes back in town, but he looks like people are staring at him and this and that, and he's paranoid. He's like, oh shit, something's going on. So he goes to see the doctor again. The doctor wants to transform him into the wolf again and film it, so to keep it for all time. So he injects him again. He wolfs out. Then he gets attacked by Tony / wolf, presumably killed there. Then the cops came in and they shot him and killed him, and that's how our movie ended. Very quick movie there, 75 minutes long. I Was a Teenage Werewolf. So yeah, it's probably most remembered for being Michael Landon's early role. But you know what? It's not a bad film. It's not a bad film. It's just a typical 50s cheesy horror movie. It's kind of fun. There you go. Now, this movie is not released on DVD. It came out on VHS, and I have the VHS, actually. Also, I Was a Teenage Frankenstein, which is kind of a sequel. A couple other movies. I think the reason this isn't coming out on DVD because the producer, is it James Nicholson? I'm not sure. I don't think it's Samuel Arkoff. He's involved with this too, but I think it's Nicholson. he's deceased, and his wife, who's like a very old woman at this point, holds the rights to like 8 of his films and refuses to sell the rights because apparently, from what I've read online, is that she wants way too much money for them, and no one's willing to pay that. So they exist in bootleg form. That's it. Now, I have this here. I actually have the pre-recorded VHS tape. I actually taped this off of cable once too. So I've got some good copies, and I burned them and put them on here. So obviously this is homemade box art. I did not make this box art, by the way, but I acquired it. But anyway, that's it. I Was a Teenage Frankenstein is the same type of deal. And I think The Terror from Beyond Space is another one like that too. But anyway, that's it. It's a decent movie, and you should be able to find it relatively easily. Like I said, not on DVD, but it is on VHS. I wouldn't be surprised it's streaming on YouTube too. I don't know. But anyway, check it out. I Was a Teenage Werewolf. Let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments. Watch it. Bye.